Cyberattacks and their aftereffects. Cyberattacks and their aftereffects, which were considered one of the global risks. There are several types of cyberattacks that individuals and organizations nowadays facing. The attacks can be classified into 1. Attacks that target to gain access to confidential data. 2. Attacks that disable operations. COVID-19 pandemic has created something new to play for hackers. In response, many organizations have made their IT strategies flexible to protect their IT assets. Most of the cyber attacks rely on techniques like infiltrating the IT system, gaining unauthorized access, weakening the network, and so on. Before we get into details, let's know a few things about the cyber attack. What is a cyber attack? Cyber attacks are the assaults launched by cyber criminals using one or multiple devices against a single computer or network of computers. It will maliciously disable computers, steal data, and cause severe harm to the data. Most of the attacks intend to disable the computer system, while others are intended to take control of the system. It is important to know that cyber attacks can launch any kind of malicious program that attempts to damage, destroy, or gain access to computer systems. Let's know about consequences. Organizations incur severe financial losses, reputation damage, lose customers, and face many difficult situations due to cyber attacks. To curb cyber attacks, organizations need a strong cybersecurity policy that safeguards the network and computer systems from unauthorized digital access. There are different types of cyber attacks that are a serious threat to organization. Let's start with 1. Phishing. Phishing is one of the common types of cyber attacks that uses disguised email, text, or phone calls as weapons. The goal is to trick the target into believing that the message is something they want. For instance, a notice from a credit card company asking the recipient to take any action to unblock their card. It is one of the widespread and pernicious attacks that are increasingly becoming sophisticated. Nearly 1/3 of data breaches in recent years involve phishing. Crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic gave cyber criminals a big opportunity to lure victims into taking their phishing bait. You can implement proactive measures to protect your organization. 2. Malware attack. A malware attack is something when cyber criminals implant malicious programs or software on someone else's device without their knowledge. The most common types of malwares are viruses, spyware, Trojan horse, ransomware. Malware attacks can occur on all types of devices, regardless of their level of protection. It is difficult to detect and typically infect the user's devices without their knowledge. Software updates are very important to fix or remove computer bugs. Run system scan or software updates on a regular basis. 3. SQL Injection. SQL Injection is a kind of cyber attack that can run arbitrary commands against your database. A successful SQL injection attack can read confidential and sensitive information from the database, modify the database, administer operations on the database, and do a lot more. SQL queries are used to execute commands such as updates, data retrieval, record removal, and more. The attackers use this method to access the back-end data and damage the reputation of the company. 4. Middleman attack. MIDM is a form of cyber eavesdropping in which the cyber criminals join the conversation between two parties and interpret the data through a compromised system. In many cases, organizations are unaware of the attack until data has been tampered with. The middleman attack can be executed in several ways that exploit the communications between other parties. Some of the MIDM attacks include session hijacking, Wi-Fi eavesdropping, DNS spoofing, IP spoofing, etc. This type of attack can be for financial gain or espionage, the practice of spying or of using spies. 5. DNS tunneling. DNS tunneling is one of the difficult to detect cyber attacks that route the DNS request to the attacker's server. To establish a DNS tunnel, the attackers register a domain and set up a command and control server to send DNS query for a subdomain that represents encoded communication. This cyber attack takes advantage of the fact that by using DNS requests to implement a command for the malware. The DNS is a flexible protocol and makes it possible for even unsophisticated attackers to use DNS tunneling technique to sneak data past the network security solutions. Finally, entire industry of cybersecurity that is focusing on adapting security practices to prevent cyber attacks. Businesses need to protect all their workloads, data, and applications across multiple domains. They need integrated solutions to automate system monitoring, endpoint protection, vulnerability assessment, and more to stop emerging threats. Thanks.